Hey there, Father Richard Conlin here. In a recent interview with Father Fred Dolan, I asked him to share some advice for parents with young families who find it very difficult to find times for silence and prayer. I hope you enjoy his response and stay tuned as I unpack it after.
Well, I think it depends on the age group of the kids at home, but for the moms who are at home with young children, at a certain point, the mom can say to the ones who are old enough to say, okay, so let's make a deal. You and I, we're going to spend time talking to Jesus. So let's start right now, and I'm going to read something, and then you and I think about it. And the little one, if he or she is old enough, they'll say, oh, okay, great. A cute story that you may have heard. One young mom did this and picked up this little book by St. Josemaria, his first book called The Way. And the point she read was, the day that you and I get up from the dinner table without having made some kind of a sacrifice is the day we will have eaten like a pagan. So then the mom looked at her son and said, okay, so let's think about that. So after about 10 seconds, the little one looked up and said, what's a sacrifice? So the mom explained it. Okay. Then after another 10 seconds, what's a pagan? And she explained it, and then he looked and he was very deep in thought. He said, Mom, I just realized I've been a pagan all my life. So that's one technique. I think another one is it's a great idea to get the older kids to watch the younger ones while the mom disappears. This is for the moms who are at home, staying at home. And another one is just to reassure the moms with real young kids that the Lord is tickled pink to see your efforts, even if chaos is happening all around you. One of the stories I love is from someone who years and years ago had young ones. And one day she just, in spiritual direction, she said to the priest, my house is a mess, my kids are a mess, everything's a mess, it's a mess. And the priest, that very wise priest, died a few years ago. He said, Anne, never forget, our Lord's passion and death was a mess. Very bloody, very noisy, very chaotic, but it brought us salvation, so relax. And she realized what he was saying to her was, okay, right now, your vocation is to be a mess. So hang in there. It won't last forever.
Great insights from Father Fred. The first key takeaway is to embrace the mess. As Father Fred shared so well, at certain points in your vocation as a parent with babies and infants, your life will feel like an absolute mess. But it's okay, embrace the mess. Just as Jesus embraced the mess of his passion and death in order to get to the goal of the resurrection and the salvation of souls, we too need to embrace the mess that we're going through at certain points in our vocation in order to get to the goal of becoming saints and allowing our family members to become saints too. So embrace the mess. And as you try to find any time at all in the messiness of that time in your life for prayer, know that our Lord is absolute tickled pink, as Father Fred shared, at your efforts. So first, embrace the mess. Second, share the burden. Share the burden with others. That might be with your spouse or with older children in your family to take care of the younger ones, or it could even be parents or grandparents. Share the burden with others so you can find times each day to have silent time of prayer. Don't feel guilty at all when you need to seek that. It's good to be seeking that. And by sharing the burden with others, you'll find those times for prayer. And the third thing is to lead your family in prayer. As Father Fred shared, at certain points in your children's development, they'll be ready for meditative and reflective prayer. And so if you could read the Gospel of the Day to them or a spiritual reading book and ask them to reflect upon what they learned and then to share that back with you, you'll not only teach them how to pray, but you'll find times for yourself to pray as well. I hope these 3 key insights from Father Fred to embrace the mess, share the burden, and lead others in prayer will give you some new inspiration as a young parent to find those times of prayer so you can grow in intimacy with Christ. God bless.